Shalom Uvracha. The anti-Semitism that we're witnessing and experiencing around the world today is deeply linked to our Parashat, Parashat kedoshim. I'd like to explain why that is. Kedoshim means to be holy. What does it mean? In which way are we holy? So the Pasuk says at the end of the Parashat, V'yisem li kedoshim, you shall be holy unto me, ki kadosh ani Hashem, I Hashem am holy. Va'avdil eschem mena amim, I've separated you from the nations, liyos li, to be unto me. Meaning to be holy, to be separate from the rest of the peoples of the world, and to be dedicated unto Hashem. Amzu yatzarti li, the Pasuk says in Yeshayahu, I've created this nation for myself, and that's our holiness. The way exactly in which this holiness is expressed, what exactly does it mean? So the commentaries differ. Some say the mitzvot, some say the separateness from different elements, base elements of the world. One way or another, the idea is clear. It's to be different from the nations, to be dedicated to Hashem. And I feel that the anti-Semitism of today is pushing us to fulfill this instruction. Previously, anti-Semitism was defined by the right wing of European politics. The nationalism of European states caused those states to reject, to banish the Jews from their midst. The Jew was the ultimate other. He could never be the German, the Hungarian, the Pole, and other nations. And therefore there was no space, there was no physical space for the Jews to live. And they were banished, ejected, until they found their own space in the state of Israel, the national homeland of the Jewish people. But today's anti-Semitism is predominantly no longer from that nationalist right wing. There's still some Jew hatred there, residual, I would say. But the predominant anti-Semitism that we're experiencing today doesn't hail from those parts of the political spectrum, but rather from the political left. Today's space, which is being denied the Jews, isn't a physical space, but rather an intellectual space. The progressive movements that were founded by Jews, universalist, cosmopolitan Jews, who founded the great social justice movements that define progressivism, whether it's racial justice, climate justice, reproductive justice, justice related to sex and gender, and so on. All of these have today coalesced, converged under a single flag. And that flag is the Palestinian flag, the flag of Hamas, the flag of our evil enemies who wish to destroy us. Meaning, the Israel-Gaza war has somehow empowered all of these movements to declare that the Jew is the ultimate evil. All groups, all discriminated and unfortunate groups get their human rights, they get their place, they get their say in the different social justice movements, with one exception, the Jew. He's excluded from them. And that's why we saw the different movements around the world, whether it's the feminist movements, whether it's other social movements, ignoring in the beginning the plight of the Jews, and down the line taking part actively in the pro-Palestine and anti-Israel, anti-Jewish camp that we're seeing developing around the world. If in 1948 we understood that we have nowhere else to live and therefore we need our own homeland that we celebrate this week, Yom Ha'atzmaut, today we're coming to the stark realization we have no other intellectual space to live in. We have no space of values, of morality, of the way that we think in the world. The Jews are being banished and ejected from that intellectual space. And if in the past we understood kedoshim tiyu in terms of mitzvahs, in terms of being separate from the base elements of the world, today we have a new understanding. We have to be kedoshim unto Hashem, also in developing a space that can be a beacon, That can be a lighthouse of morality. The entire world is looking to us, to the struggle of good against evil, to redefine what it means to be moral, to recalibrate the moral compass that is so deeply broken. And in that sense, we need to be kedoshim. We should have meaningful days coming up. Yom HaZikaron, Yom HaAtzmaut. We should have a beautiful Shabbos, and we should integrate the lesson of kedoshim to you in every space of our lives.